All right, Cryptillion and Crypto Crackhead YouTube Nation. Today is June 1st, 2021, and you're about to get Timified. Wanted to start you off with a quick reminder of what this channel's all about and what I'm trying to save you from, as we all know what Omi has done recently. So let me do this. And
dollars and 33 cents, $100 to $1.23 and 33 cents, 1,000 to $12 and 30. Coin crash 83% last time. Cardano crashed 98.77%. $1,000 became $12.33. 1,000 to $12.33. $100 to $1.23. This is not wealth building. What are you doing in this? Stop listening to clueless YouTubers who convince you that everything goes up forever. It's not. This is not a wealth building coin. But has it ever changed your life? Why are you proud to have bought it? It's going to be a top. Who cares if it's going to be a top 20 coin? You're going to get 6x, maybe. Your $1,000 will turn to 6,000. Whoa, that's not worth the risk. What are you doing? If you don't know what market cap means and what relatively big market cap is, like how big stuff get in a market round, you have no business buying it. You don't. You have no business. You're going to get wrecked.
You're gonna get wrecked. All right. So the reason I wanted to start with that, especially for new viewers, is because we all know what's happened to Omi. Since then, and it was pretty good advice. So this channel, I'm trying to help people not get screwed inside of crypto, and I'm anticipating a market. Oh, this is Omi, by the way. That's Omi. We're talking about it about right there. Right there. See? Straight down. Straight down. Warning people who are listening to Birdnomics that you got, because I've seen this so many times before, folks. I already knew it was going to happen. I've seen it. It was a YouTube hype coin. People were talking about Pirate Chain. It's going to go up to this and that after it just screamed whatever, thousands of percent. What happened thereafter? It tanked 73%. All right, I've seen all this before. I know when the market's a little too hot. I'm trying to help people out, and the reason I'm starting the video with this is because we're about ready to enter a market where people are going to think they're geniuses for a bit, and you're going to screw yourself. You're going to get screwed. You're going to get wrecked. So I want to try to prepare the YouTube audience to not get screwed, okay? So if this correction, that if we see, you know, price come up, and then price takes down to 20, you know, between 25 and 20K, go back to its prior highs. If we can zoom out here, I go down to its prior highs, okay? And you feel that the only way to make money in this market, I gotta make money now, I gotta make money now, and you throw all of your money over to your futures account, you're probably gonna lose it. I want to help you guys and gals not make that poor choice. If you have not been a professional trader for years, you know, which honestly, I haven't been a professional trader for years. I'm not throwing all my money into a futures account either. Like, I would maybe put 5 to 8, maybe 10 if I'm feeling cute. And then I know some of y'all, I've heard some of my patrons, so not necessarily addressing my patrons here, just YouTube audience, whether you're part of the community or not. I've heard of some people, you know, funding a little bit, and then when it started going the wrong way, they didn't set stops or they deleted their stops, they started putting more tether into it. So they didn't get liquidated, and then they got liquidated at that crash. But it's not, I guess I should laugh, it's not funny. I anticipate that a lot of you are going to go down, without seeing this video, will go down a similar journey here, and I really don't want that to happen. So basically what might end up happening here is something like this. And honestly, if you didn't see my video from yesterday, go watch it. I did this live, and it's just, it might be exactly what happens, folks. So I need to stretch this out. Like, actually, maybe not even stretch it out at all. October 2022. So, you know, Bitcoin's been moving like an altcoin, and altcoins often, in a correction, after they get too hot too fast, go down to their prior high. If Bitcoin behaves anywhere similarly to how it behaved here, which is, honestly, there are lots of signs it is right now. It's the only other round of top, so go watch my other video. But in this type of market here, a lot of you are going to want to make money now, and you might make money the first few trades in leverage trading, and you're going to think you're a genius, and then you're going to lose it all in about a 3-step emotional process. And the first one is, when you make a mistake, you will still think, no, I'll brush that off. I'm still a genius. I'm on a roll. And then when that doesn't work, and then with that, you make a slightly more aggressive leverage trade to get that back because you're still on a roll, right? And then you lose more. And then you're frustrated. And then you make an even more aggressive move to get all of that back, perhaps 20 to 30% of all of your money, and you lose more. Now you're down like 60%. And now the last step in that emotional process of losing all your money, seriously, blowing your whole account, the last and final step is essentially like, oh, it's not capitulation. It's emotional capitulation. You say, what the? I've already lost all this. I don't care anymore. I'm just going to try to get it back. And then you'll do a hyper stupid move, and then you will lose it all. That is how it'll happen. I'm telling you, because I've done it like a lot of times. And when did I do it? In this market here. Now, thank God I didn't sell my altcoins to do that, but my altcoins that were losing 90-something% of its value. 98, 99% of their value, but hell, maybe I should have. But I still hold them, and since I accumulated those during the bear market as well, I'm way in the green. But anyway, so if this market turns into anything behaving similarly to this, even without this capitulation again, like maybe it only comes down to here, maybe it only comes down to 30K to recheck its recheck this, this here. Doesn't matter. It's very hard to make money in this market. And since altcoins likely won't be performing very well like they were, the last through January to April, early April, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to want to find a way to make money. So I'm trying to help y'all. There are ways to lend your tether or lend or to buy DAI, which is a stablecoin, DAI. You can look into it. Just lend it out. Get 20% interest and wait till I make a video saying glory hole incoming per my yesterday video. Here's the glory hole, and buy stuff back. Take a chill pill till then, okay? If you want to try playing around with a few $100 in your futures account, I mean, maybe, as long as you understand you're probably going to lose it, like 99% chance you're going to lose it, okay. Play around, learn. Once you lose it, learn with another $100, learn with another $100, and that's what I did time and time again. After the first time, I lost like $2,000, and I wasn't supposed to lose that. I think my wife's not listening. It was years ago, and then I never did it again. I only funded it with $100, and I turned that $100 into like $3,000. I think one of them was like $3,500. Something in 10 days. Thought I was a genius, and I went through that emotional process. And one time I only got it up to like $1,400 in about 10 days to 20 days. You think you're a genius and you lose it all. And I already know the emotional process. That's what it is. So don't fall into that trap. I'm telling you. And if you do want to, be cute and fall into that trap, only do it with a tiny bit of your money. I'm telling you. Okay. All right. Now, so a little bit of analysis here. Let me see so I don't have to look back on this video, or is this at 8? So about 8:48. All right. So things we do have some signs of turnaround here is the 4-hour chart has things that has happened recently. However, the larger time frames. So what I'm staring at here is let me take off price, and let me take off these. All right, so we have some things going on that haven't happened before since this, big capitulation type of deal. Is this cross here? Okay, the red with the yellow and the red with the yellow. So yes, this happened again. The price fell down, sure. However, there were a couple of elements on the larger time frames that weren't essentially supporting that bullish cross that we do have now. So price is very likely going to head back up. I mean, perhaps like in the high 40s, 50, 51K, something like that. And it is possible it only gets up to, 42, heads back down to 32, and then goes to 48. But it's probably getting ready to head to, 48 to 51 land within the next month and a half. And will it be glory from there? I don't know. I'll reassess from there. However, so just some chart analysis why I think that on smaller timeframes in congruence to, or I guess cascading into larger time frames is this. So we have this bullish cross. It typically, works out pretty well. See, price recovered for a bit. This bullish cross, 4 hour, price recovered. So, so here it didn't recover great. So that was a bad one. But typically, when you buy this cross, it works out pretty well. If you try longing in on 10x leverage, you could still get liquidated. You could have multi-$1,000 moves within this price-wise. Like, price is jumping all around. If it's not just this simple, folks. So, like, if I put price back in, watch. See, you still get liquidated during the scrap. But if you're playing with more than a few X leverage. But anyway, so you can see how this cross often works out. Like, it's way more than 50%, right? I guess this wasn't a cross, but this was. And that led all the way up to here. I mean, that was a big move. So there are some fake outs. So I guess you had 2 fake outs, 1, 2. But it's way more than 50%. However, what's happening here that did not happen here and here, and actually I haven't backtested this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be similar in nature to the difference of what happened here versus what's happening here. And that's what I'm about to show you. So this is essentially agreement of smaller time frames with larger time frames. And that's a part of, why my charting and my TA, seems to be a little bit better than what you're going to find out there. I mean, way more than average, obviously. I'm not saying I'm the best out on YouTube, but I think the track record, speaks for itself in terms of all of YouTube, right? So here it is. Go to the weekly. Things we have working for us, if we just look at price, is on the weekly chart, and this is Bitstamp, so BTC USD Bitstamp. See Bitstamp, you can see the price history. Is the Stochs are leveling off, starting to level off, so they're not straight down. The RSI has a positive slope on the weekly, which is a pretty big deal. It's not like perfect trading, but it's something that wasn't happening. And if we go back to where I said earlier, what was the difference between those two? Actually, let me circle those again. I think I erased them, didn't I? Silly me. So the difference between, if it's in the same week, you really won't be able to see it, but this failed cross, that failed cross, and this was the good cross. So I'll put those up there. Go back to the weekly to kind of mark my spot. X marks the spot. All right. You want to zoom out. And put price back on. Go straight up here. Look, this was a negative slope. See this green line? See that? Straight under, negative slope. Here, it was negative slope, because this was still negative when this happened. Here, positive slope. Positive slope. So here, positive slope. These two here on, let's put actually stochastic RSIs, because those move a little faster. So here and here, these two lines, stochastic RSIs, we're heading straight down. Here, it was positive and getting ready. It hadn't crossed yet, but it was positive. All right, same thing here, the stochastic RSI, which is a little bit more finicky and faster moving. So this big red candle and that candle where the failed retracement was, negative slope, negative slope. Now it's actually a positive slope and getting ready to cross as well. So there are a lot of things going for this 4-hour cross on the larger time frames that should support the 4-hour cross working. Okay, there's a lot going for it. Now, will this take us back above, 60K and infinity and beyond, Buzz Lightyear style? Potentially. There's actually a pretty decent chance that that happens. Is it more than 50% chance? I actually don't know. It might be kind of close to 50, but I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. You just need to be prepared for either one, because I don't know. I don't know if there's a way to tell. So there's a lot of stuff going for it. And one of the things that I saw that you might want to keep your heads up for is on the 2-hour chart. If you see the 2-hour not do anything like this, so there are two options. So look at the 2-hour Stochs throughout the next couple weeks. 2-hour Stochs span days, right? So if you want to measure this out, it doesn't mean hourly necessarily. So from trough to trough, that's 2 whole days, right? So like just a couple of these undulations, oscillations could last, a week and a half or so. And a couple things you want to look out for to give you a fast tip on whether this is going to crash right through and go, either revisit low 30s or even lower or not, or if it's going to hold strong, and thus you have a way to quickly tell if the longer time frames are truly going to support this cross or not. Go down a time frame, right? So in the other direction to the 2-hour, and there are a couple things to look out for. The 2-hour Stochs should do something like this. And if you want to actually get exact here, we can look for a trend line of support and just look at, so what I'm looking for here is where there's a lot of, it bounces off or it gets rejected from a lot, right? So I'm looking for a lot of those areas that line up. And typically you have 2 different lines, and so you want to see it not go below that, or there's a second option as well. But this is one of 2 options. So you don't want to see, so for one of these options, the better of the 2, you don't want to see, actually I should just make that a box. So those 2 lines, and you can see how I did this. You should do this. This is one way to use Stochs. So you got a lot of resistance, things, pings off of it, pings off of it, pings out resistance. Then you have all these areas of support. Pretty clear, right? So if you go to the 2-hour Stochs on Bitcoin, draw a box there. You don't want to see it crashing through there for a little bit until, Bitcoin is perhaps, I would say specifically, if you go to the daily chart, you want to see Bitcoin get fully past those 2 candles there, where there's a green and red one on May 20th and May 21st. If Bitcoin doesn't get past that 40,500 mark, without that happening, like, price is going to probably revisit the mid 30s or low 30s. Okay, that's one of 2 things to watch out for. Or another good thing that could happen, in terms of something bullish, is if price, wherever it doesn't matter how high it goes, it doesn't matter, is once it gets here or wherever, if price starts coming down and Stochs get all the way down and it stays above its 21 exponential moving average or so, so this just kind of draw this yellow line out. If Stochs come all the way down and start curling back up, then price is probably going to continue much higher. There's a very, very strong likelihood of that happening. And that would mean that there will be continuation of the longer time frame. So these crosses, in the positive slope of the, so the positive slope right here of the weekly RSI. So you have a strong chance of this at least coming up to check or come past. So this white line is its moving average, to come past the moving average. And then, of course, it will come back down to check its moving average, because once the moving average starts going up, it'll check in right off of it like that, kind of like it did here, right? So it come down and check it. But in order for this part to happen, for RSI to have continuation, those are the two things that you'll be able to look out for that will give you the quick tip, so you'll be able to react more quickly. And yeah, so really, there's not a whole lot to do in the charts right now. However, I just gave you evidence of we have something different happening on the 4-hour chart that did not happen during these other failed attempts, and reason why there is a statistically much more likely chance that this cross here maintains a bullish trajectory than this. And in summary, I then gave you specific ways to kind of front run or have very quick clues before it's obvious in the candles, before you see price coming all the way back down, in order to determine is a bullish, price movement, even if it's stair stepping, doesn't matter if this is going to get continuation or not, using two different things to look out for, two different posturings, I guess, of the 2-hour stochastics. And I will leave you with that because my Disney trip is about getting ready to get a little bit more intense the next couple of days. Doing Epcot Hollywood Studios the next couple of days, and these previous 2 days have been a little bit more relaxed. So I don't know if I'm going to be able to push out videos to you the next couple of days. So those are the things to look out for. And then when I jump back on here and push some content to you, we'll follow up and we'll go from there. So new viewers, if you like what you saw, go ahead and when you subscribe and hit that thumbs up for me, leave me a comment whether you want to be a cryptillion or a crypto crackhead, because folks in this community, they choose their crypto pronoun, and I don't need to give them explanations. You can kind of figure it out for yourself. And then y'all just got Timified. We'll see you sooner than later.